What's up? Welcome into your Buckeye Rush Hour for a Monday, July 24th, 2023. How's everybody doing out there? Are you rushing in this hour? White Russian? Oh, yes, have some on the rocks. All right. So if you read the title, today we are talking about your concern level with the defensive recruiting. You're probably well aware of by this time that KVA, not saying his name ever again. He's dead to me. Just kidding. No. Never know when the portal might pop open for old KVA. You might want to head east to Columbus. But anyway, we're talking defensive recruiting. Where do we go from here? And is there a concern with Jim Knowles and his lack of seems like just a willingness to recruit, honestly. So let's get into it. The Irish hung around long enough and won out in this KVA recruitment on Sunday. But his faith in God and his family's belief that Notre Dame offered a better academic opportunity for him won out. The Buckeye staff was very confident that they'd done enough on his official visit, but then KVA said he felt that God had spoken to him and was leading him to Notre Dame. By the way, he was just coming off a church retreat over the weekend, so I'm not going to shit on the kid's religion or anything like that, but maybe he was feeling Jesus a little more than normal. Anyway, so where do the Buckeyes go from here? They're going to continue to look for a third linebacker. Personally, I don't think it's a highest priority. I think you need to focus on the secondary and the D-line. Linebacker, we already have two. We got the 4 stars, Peyton Pierce, he's a top 100 guy, and Garrett Stover, he's a Stover. That's all you need to say. Numbers and rankings don't really matter when it comes to Stovers, right? But you got two nationally, looking at some of the guys out there, you got two of the top linebackers, Justin Williams and Chris Jones. They're considered heavy Georgia leans right now. The Buckeyes could check in with Chris Cole from Virginia, but he's also a Georgia lean. The Buckeye staff actually failed to follow up on Chris Cole, and that gave him the impression that they weren't interested. Again, maybe Jim Knowles making a few phone calls or text messages might have been all it took to get him on campus for a visit and show that the Buckeyes were interested in Chris Cole. But anyway, fall camp starting next week. So there's not a lot of time for evaluation at all before the season starts. Flips are your main option going forward for committed guys. If there's schools that they're committed to struggles, like the Marquise Lightfoot situation in Miami. There's also Florida commit Darius Haynes. He's a linebacker out there that the Buckeyes would be interested in flipping. So you don't know how the Gators' schedule is going to go. They have the toughest schedule in the country. So, you got to count that into and factor that in. But Jim Knowles really was hired for his ability to scheme and coach that scheme rather than instead of his recruiting abilities. But the Buckeyes hosted 3 linebackers on official visits in June. All have committed to other schools. Buckeyes went all in with KVA, and then they hosted Justin Okoronkwo at a camp, but didn't offer him back in June. At the time, he was committed to Maryland. Now he's an Alabama commit. The staff wanted to see game film before offering, but Alabama went ahead and offered him without seeing that film and then flipped him. Jesus. So that's kind of the point I'm trying to make here. There's another Alabama commit, Caden Jones. He's from North Carolina, visited Ohio State 3 times, but was never offered. He has family in Central Ohio. I don't know. So I know that the Buckeyes hired James Laurinaitis to assist Jim Knowles in recruiting, but I feel the defensive coordinator needs to be out in front on the recruiting trail and be the face of defensive recruiting for the Buckeyes, and Knowles doesn't seem to be that. So not only is James Laurinaitis not allowed to go out and recruit because he's a GA, but then you got Jim Knowles not making the effort to go out and recruit. But Knowles gets great reviews from players who spend time with him on campus. So it seems like he's relying on Laurinaitis a little too much. So the solution, if you don't get some of these guys that you're going heavy after, you're going to have to turn to the portal even more. So keep that in mind. As you know, we probably don't take a linebacker in this class unless something changes over the next few months. But again, we're only 5 months away, less than 5 months. It's like 4.5 months till the early signing period, and everybody's going to be committed by then. Nobody waits till February anymore. You can't bank on that. So flips are an option. They're few and far between. And getting kids on campus for a visit during the season is not what coaches want to do, but and getting a commitment is going to be hard to do. It's, again, few and far between. So what do you guys think? Is how do you talk about this recruiting, these recruiting issues on the defensive side of the ball? Do you think Laurinaitis could do more, or do you think Jim Knowles needs to be out there pounding the pavement more, racking up those air miles and stuff? Let's pop into the chat and see what's going on. Oh yeah. Oh, it's popping for a Monday. Wow. Usually it's pretty quiet. PC, what's up, man? Billy says, I need you to talk me off the ledge. Billy, I'll do my best. PC says, here's my take on it. Sounds like KVA went to the religious retreat last weekend. We were leading, but at the retreat, we lost it. Hard to compete with Jesus and Mama. Those are legit points, PC. Yeah, you can't argue with it. Just got to keep it moving, right? Ben, what's up? Ben puts out an OH in the chat. Ayo. Billy says, what about Lightfoot, Jackson, Tillman? There are always reasons we're losing out. Well, yeah, I would say every recruit is different, except for those 3 DNs last year that we missed out on in the 23 class. Those were all NIL related. But anyway, every recruit's different. And with KVA, the priority was academics and religion. And I wouldn't say that the Buckeyes are lacking too far behind Notre Dame in the academic side. But if you want religion in your life on a day-to-day basis, Notre Dame is probably your best option. So, and Mom's going to make the call there. So he's got a close relationship with his mom. Can't shit on him for that. So PC says, listen, I'll say it again. If we miss out on Aaron Scott, then there are huge problems. I don't think we will, but that one will tell me a lot. Yakov 22, what's up? Good to see you. He says, I'm happy we beat them out for a top level D tackle, far more important of a position than linebacker. Excellent point, Yakov, especially when we already have 2 linebackers, 4 stars in the class. And we only play 2 in our base defense, and we've got some high-end depth behind those guys. So, right. Billy brings up the point that as of now, he's our only D-line commit, right? PC says, I think the problem with defensive recruiting is the fact that we haven't. Yeah, exactly. Jeremiah, what's up? He says, if any players who are looking to go to Ohio State and end up elsewhere, that's their loss. Good luck winning elsewhere like they would have at Ohio State. Yeah, good point. You're definitely not going to win playoff games at Notre Dame. I don't give a shit if Jesus is the coach. PC says, haven't seen the Buckeyes D come through on the field. Knowles was great, but the jury is still out on his schemes. Yeah. And development. I would also point to development, PC. anybody can X and O out there, but it's the art of calling plays, just like you see the art of calling plays by Ryan Day on offense. There's an art to it on defense as well. And then also development. Are you developing guys, progressing their talents through their college level and getting them into the league? Billy says, since Jim Knowles is making the big bucks and recruiting is an important part of recruiting. Knowles seems like a very personable guy. I don't get it. Yeah. American Buckeyes, what's up, man? Welcome in. He says, do you think a lack of developing 4- and 5-star players on the defensive side is contributing to the Buckeyes not getting top defensive players? Well, to a degree, we're not developing all of the talented 4- and 5-star blue chips, but in many cases we are. It's rare that a 4 or a 5-star is not getting developed. I think the poor defense we saw in 2020, 2021, especially, it really turned off recruits. And those kids, that's just 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, they were watching Ohio State getting run over by, Oregon, for Christ's sake. So, I would say that maybe a Zach Harrison is what you're referring to. He was a former 5-star, wasn't really developed, kind of, sort of, was never the game wrecker like we thought he would be. But we also can't expect everybody that comes in to be a Chase Young, no matter how highly they're rated. And same in the secondary, not everybody's going to be a Jeff Okudah. So, but I see your point, and it's legit. PC says, yeah, kids got to see it on the field before they want to sign up and be a part of it. Some will come, but the 5-stars want to win. Yeah. Just echoing American Buckeyes. Billy says, whether it's JK, LJ, NIL, PE, TW, something's got to change. Yeah. Enough of the acronyms, right? The initials. PC says, it's tough. I know we can't land them all, but damn. Yeah. No Way 87. Thanks for joining us. Good to see you. Says, what's up with Houston, Stewart, and Scott? We getting them, or is this like the KVA Lightfoot? PC says, if we lose Aaron Scott, then I'll be on the ledge with you, Billy. It does sound like Edric Houston is now leaning towards Bama, and Dylan Stewart is also attending the barbecue at South Carolina this weekend. So, Billy, don't take that leap yet. We've still got time. Billy says he says we can hold hands and jump. You got a room for a third on that ledge, guys. No, Billy says if we keep losing defensive commits at this rate, we ain't going to the playoffs in a few years. Yeah. Thanks, PC. PC says, just look at the NFL draft last year. Harrison was the only one from the defense. One per year is not enough to draw 5-star. No. And he didn't get drafted till the 3rd round. You got to get guys into the league on a continuous cycle. That conveyor belt cannot stop, like you see with Bama, Georgia. It's just nonstop rotation. PC says we need 4 and 5 stars to compete with UGA. Yep. PC says if Stewart goes to South Carolina for the barbecue, I'd give us a 10% chance of getting him. On the upside, I will say that the Buckeyes are competitive in the NIL space when it comes to Dylan Stewart. So I'm not worried about that. I think if it comes down to NIL and being developed for the NFL, NIL and NFL, I think Dylan Stewart has to go to Ohio State. I don't know what the attraction to South Carolina is, So I think if it comes down to the cash money and getting developed for the league, you gotta go to the Buckeyes. No doubt about it. If you're a D end, drink of water. Oh boy. So let's look at our current commits according to, let's go, offers, commits. So starting from the top, highest rating, we got Justin Scott, D tackle in this 2023 class or 24 class. Sorry, he's the 5-star. Then you got safety / soon to be linebacker Garrett Stover. He's up to about 215 now at 6 foot tall, so a little shorter for a linebacker, but still a high 4-star. Bryce West, the corner, high 4-star. Peyton Pierce, the linebacker, 4-star. Who else? Miles Lockhart, the corner, 4-star. And then Jalen McClain, safety. He's the only safety in this class. And Justin Scott, the only D lineman. Jalen McClain's a 4-star. So let's look at last year's class, who we brought in on defense. You got Malik Hartford's the highest rated defensive player he's a high 4-star out of Westchester, Lakota West in Ohio. Number 5 safety in the class. Then you got Jason Moore. I'm interested to see what Jason Moore has under the hood. He's going to move down inside probably. He's up to like 290, I think, at 6'6". So big, huge dude. Number 10 D lineman in his class. Calvin Simpson Hunt, the corner. He's a high 4-star at 6 foot 175. Then you got Caden McDonald, the other big D tackle out of Sewanee, Georgia, 6'3", 310. He's the number 18 D lineman. So then you got Josh Mickens. I think he projects probably as the jack. I think that's what they were recruiting him for at 6'3", 225. He's not really tall enough to be an edge rusher. He was a 19th ranked edge in the class, but I think you typically want somebody at least 6'5" out there. You got to have that length and that bend. Coming up this week, I got a little freshman star alert on Arvell Reese, the linebacker, 6'3.5". 212 is his weight here on 24/7 during his recruiting. Was the 18th ranked linebacker in his class. Don't forget you got Jermaine Matthews from Winton Woods, 6 foot 175. He's a high 4-star. Will Smith, another D tackle, most likely. He's at 6'3", so he's probably going to move inside, put on some weight. He's at 260 right now. Safety Cedric Hawkins is a 4-star, and then Jaden Bonsu, of course, the other safety, but he's a bigger safety. He's at 210. So that's your 2023 defensive class. How are you guys feeling about these younger guys coming in the 23 class? Does that do anything for you? Let's check on the chat. PC says no one gets Stewart's attraction to South Carolina, and I mean no one. Is there a bag man down there? I don't know about. Maybe. No Way 87 says you would have thought that was true about Lightfoot. That was a bag situation. Buckeyes were just flat out outbid for Marquise Lightfoot. But when Miami does what Miami does and goes 7-5, 6-6, 5-7, whatever, I think Lightfoot might be looking elsewhere. Yeah. Eric, what's up, man? Face palms. Eric's got all the face palms. Yakov says Steve Spurrier used to tell the Florida defense, hold them under 40 and we will win. OSU might need to take that approach. Yeah, I'll take that. We would have won we would have won the national championship. Yeah. PC says I'd be happy being one in the top 3 class, top 5 I could tolerate, but lower than that would be a kick in the nards. Yeah. PC says he feels good about the 2023 guys on defense coming in. Yeah. He says I could see these misses coming back around next year via the portal. Exactly. And that's what you're going to see Ohio State have to be more aggressive like they were this offseason. They brought in 8 portal guys, and a couple of them could start. I mean, Igbinosun, if he moves down to that slot safety, like rumors are swirling about, then he is starting at that slot. I love it. He's got the size, about 6'2", 200 pounds. Then you got Jihad Carter. He's definitely going to figure into that 2 deep at safety, whether it's field, deep, whatever, or bandit, the field, whatever. So, yeah, these guys are going to. Some of these guys are going to hop in the portal eventually. We saw it with Texas A&M. Remember, they had all those dudes, all those 5-stars, best class ever, record-setting class. And then half of them just hopped in the portal in the last 2 years, right? So PC says, yeah, when Notre Dame, Florida, and South Carolina choked, they might look back toward Columbus. I think so too, but again, you can't bank on flips. You can't assume that you're going to get those flips. You can work on them, and maybe you get 1 or 2 per cycle, but you're not going to get a handful of flips in a cycle, especially this late. We're heading into freaking August. Most guys are committed, especially guys, quality dudes. I'm talking 4 and 5 stars. Most of those guys are in their schools, like the linebackers, I talked about that are going to Georgia, all 3 of them apparently. And then Florida has a linebacker, so, but yeah. Jeremiah says, whatever younger players that will help the Buckeyes win. Bottom line, we need to win the combination of older and younger players. Yeah. You're always going to have that combo of veterans and, freshmen, sophomore, whatever. PC asks, Joe, do you know the last time we were able to flip someone after verbally committing elsewhere? Flips are very tough, Eric. Yeah. Last flip. Ooh. Well, I assume you're talking just defense. We've gotten guys to flip from like Mayan, flip from Iowa State. Does that count? I don't know. Defensively, I don't know. Lincoln Keenholz, he was committed to Washington, and he actually said, the quarterback, of course, he actually said that he would have got a bigger NIL package going to Washington than going to Ohio State. Who else? We've gotten some guys here and there. Does a flip count if you're getting a guy out of the portal, like a Taiwan Malone? He picked Ole Miss, first, then came back around to the Buckeyes. PC says Mayan counts. All right, good. I could put together a list for you. BTS Buckeye, welcome into the show. Appreciate you joining us. He says we get Bolden, Houston, and Dillon. Just watch. Okay. Calling shots. I love it. People come in here. I drink the shots. You guys call the shots. Sounds good to me. Yeah, I agree with you, PC. I'm thinking that Taiwan Malone scenario too, where, the Buckeyes are in it late for a guy like KVA or Marquise Lightfoot, whoever it might be. And then they go somewhere else. year or two later, they're back on the streets looking for a date. Jeremiah says, with all the goings on at Northwestern, would there be any of those players looking to transfer after all what went on there? Yeah, I'm sure there are some guys looking to transfer. Depends. I mean, I don't think there's anybody on the defensive side of the ball we would be interested in. They don't really have anybody on that roster that's that great. They don't get a lot of 4 and 5 stars at all, you know. And then you got the academic requirements. So again, you're looking at they would probably be looking to transfer to a Stanford, Notre Dame, you know, high-end academic schools, depending on what they want to study. Yeah, PC's just echoed what I said. I say it and PC types it, or vice versa. But yeah, flips again. Yeah, I mean, we flipped guys like Grant Toutant. Oh, I forgot about Jerome Baker, the linebacker back in the day. He was committed to Florida. Was Shazier? I thought Ryan Shazier was committed to Florida too. Can't remember. And then we've gotten flipped on plenty of times. Kay and Lee, the corner, flipped to Auburn on signing day. We had Desan McCullough, remember him? The outside linebacker came in, was that 2021? He was in CJ Hicks' class. He ended up flipping to fucking Indiana because his dad was suddenly got a job there. So yeah, flips are there, but they're so freaking rare, man. Doyle, what's up, man? Yeah, he's exactly right. Todd says that most of Northwestern's players would be too deep on the scout team. Yeah, exactly. It'd be the smart kids getting the water for the players. But they would not be hazed in Columbus, that's for sure. So it's a safe space. So, oh, what else we got? Got a couple more minutes. I'll hang out with you guys. Anything else you want to hit on? Trying to get together a list of the guys that are coming for the Summerfest in the shoe on Friday. Yeah, Friday, 28th. It's really just it's for unofficial visits. They're having a barbecue in the shoe. Mostly it's 25 and 26 kids though. You're not going to see too many 24s. It would be nice if we could hear about Edric Houston. If he can make it into town for that cookout, that'd be a good sign for the Buckeyes. In the chat, Jeremiah says, I can see why Northwestern wouldn't get any big name or big caliber players. Will they be able to field a team after all this? Oh, yeah. I think most of the players aren't leaving. I don't know about the coaching staff. You might see some of those former assistants get hung out to dry. And now I just heard today that some of the staffers were going through the freaking car wash and the jeez. Anyway, PC says, I keep seeing this kid, Ernest Willer. I don't think I've heard anyone talk about him ever. Yeah, I'm working on that list for the Summerfest, PC. It's hard to get a concrete list right now. It's only like 5 or 6 dudes. Devin Sanchez just backed out. The corner from Texas in the 25 class. I believe he's the top corner in the class. He's not going to be able to make it. So that sucks. But yes, I will work on getting that list out. It might not be till Thursday because it's constantly changing from what I can tell. And nobody's willing to say, yes, I'm in. You will probably see some local commits like the Armstrong twins, they'll probably go. Maybe Mark Nave, people that are within a few hours driving distance, they'll probably show up. But those are commits. Recruits are what we want on campus right now. So, but if somebody does show up that's a recruit, you got the Armstrong twins that are definitely going to get in their ear and work on it. So. Yeah. Yeah, I agree, Todd. They were probably interns, maybe GAs, guys fresh out of college, not assistant coaches. No, I didn't want to give that impression. Eric says, how many kids will we end up with in this class? I honestly feel like we would push to 28. I'm not sure we get there now. No, I'm in the same boat with you, Eric. I was thinking the same thing. I was thinking close to 30, honestly, just a month ago. But with all these kids committing elsewhere, fuck, I'm 25. I'd be happy with, PC says Sanchez is out? ? That sucks. That's okay. We're still in the game for him. Yeah, he'll be a good one. He'll need to see us do better on the field this year to drink the Buckeye Kool-Aid. Yes. No Way 87 asks, is Houston or Stewart coming? No, not to the Summerfest. No. Dylan Stewart, I mentioned it earlier. He's going to South Carolina for their barbecue this weekend. Edric Houston, would love to get him on campus, but it's looking like he's a Bama lean right now from what we're hearing. So, all right, boys. Keep it locked in here. Anything pops off, anything happens in the recruiting world, I'll do a breaking news segment or bring you up to date on the Daily Blitz, of course. But appreciate you. Hit subscribe. Hey, don't be afraid to share this with a friend or family member. And we'll keep rocking through a couple more weeks. You got Big Ten Media Days this week, so going to be some interesting interviews there, at least with the players. The coaches are always pretty boring, but all right, I'll talk to you later. Go Bucks.